I can't be dancing when the bitch is home. She's always taking up the TV, fucking up my time today. Anyways, speaking of such things, yeah, I haven't done a clip in a while, and it's a holiday. I don't know why. I literally have nothing to do. Yet I've done no clips. I just haven't been in the mood. Well, actually, that's not true. I've been wanting to do them, but when I've been wanting to do them, I just was doing other things. So let's go over the holiday. Since it's a holiday, I might as well talk about that shit. Usually every Christmas for like the last 10 years, right before Christmas Day, my back goes out. Well, this year my back actually didn't go out. But what did happen, there's always something. I don't even know what happened. My right shoulder blade, right underneath my right shoulder blade, all of a sudden, I don't know if it was a spasm. I don't know if it was a cramp. I don't know if I pulled something. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is it hurt like a motherfucker, like to the point where I took a deep breath and went, and it just like clenched, like the whole muscle just was like fuck you, like if you took a wet towel and just like wrang it out with your hands, it just like into my whole fucking side is like oh, like I can't breathe and shit. Fucking horrible bullshit. Then it started cramping up, so that I wasn't really sure what the problem was. But it's like, like if you work out or something, or I've used the analogy of like painting a ceiling. You know how you lift it up, and then like the next day you can't lift your shoulders up, like your body just will not do it. That's what's going on here. Now, as a man of substance, going to the bathroom is really a lot of fun, especially when you're right-handed and like your whole right side is just like, yeah, fuck you. And trying to reach up and around the girth parts up in there, and not fun. I'm just gonna throw that out to you. Not fun at all. Really great fucking holiday. I literally can't grab my own ass. Is what I'm trying to say to you. And I don't know what happened. I don't know where it came from. I don't know if I slept wrong. I may have slept wrong or something. Um, I don't know, but it. Especially again, I'm gonna go into this. The bathroom issue. Oh my god, because you gotta understand. You kind of have to lift up, reach all the way back around, like you're reaching around the moon, literally, and then you have to like with your hand like clench upward. So I'm doing like this hook up and around my ass crack, and by doing that, my right underneath my right shoulder blade, it's not good. Let's just put it that way. It's not a good situation. And then when you're all done and you like kind of sit back and go for like the toilet paper again to do another round, the whole thing just clenches up. It's like, and you're sitting on the pot going, like your whole fucking arm is just limp as dick, not in a good way, if there is ever such a good thing. And you're like, I gotta do this a couple more times. That's just the first time. Okay. Yeah, you can't just once and be done, especially if you're of girth. If you're a man of even not even plump, so just a normal dude, you gotta at least go 4 or 5 times, 3 to 5 times at least. You know, now add on a couple 100 pounds. Next thing you know, it's like holy shit. Literally, I could take a whole roll of toilet paper, just shove it between the cheeks of my ass, and it's still not good enough. You know what I mean? So, so needless to say, my whole fucking right side, and it's not the shoulder blade. It's like right under there, like right, like where the right where the lungs are. I've probably got cancer in my lung or some goddamn thing. I don't know what it is. I don't even want to talk to that. That's not even funny. Oh, speaking of that, speaking of not funny. So yesterday, I don't know what happened. Again, another. I don't know what happened because you can understand. My logic of life is very simple. I wake up, I breathe. Everything should just go in. Like, I'm not saying everything needs to go my way per se, but there are certain things. Like I flip on a light. it needs to turn on. Now, okay, there's certain factors, like did you pay the power bill? No, I didn't, so it didn't turn on. Okay, that makes sense. You flip the light switch on, okay, it didn't turn on. What happened? Oh, the light bulb blew. Okay, fine. I can get that. Those are things I can get. But when I flip on my light switch and the sun goes up and down, like just over the horizon and come up, like night and day, night and day, night and day, flip, flip, flip. When entire reality just does not adhere to what it's supposed to be doing, that's when I shit my own bed, because that's when it pisses me off. So, oh my god. So I'm sitting there. I'm sitting in the chair and I'm playing Destiny. For fuck, don't even get me started that goddamn game. Don't even get me started Destiny 2. Oh my god, I'm gonna throw a fucking party when that game dies. When Destiny 3 comes out and nobody's playing that fucker no more, I'm gonna throw a goddamn party. I'm gonna put it on YouTube. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a one-man fucking party. I'm gonna have cake and hats and shit. Dog's gonna have a hat on his fucking head. We're gonna be eating cake. It's gonna be a fucking phenomenal time. Anyways, as I'm sitting there, all of a sudden, like, well, partly my nose, it wasn't getting stuffed up, but it was getting kind of like the inner parts were getting a little swollen for some reason, and it was like, you know, I couldn't breathe. I couldn't. It wasn't stuffy nose. It was more. I could still breathe, but it was just kind of like, okay, it's not as clear as it should be, but it's clear. I mean, I take that 100,000 times over, the flu. You know what I mean? I could breathe through my nose, but it was just kind of like, you know. Well, next thing I know, it was the weirdest thing because it's like, I could breathe, but I was having trouble breathing. I'm not even through my mouth. I'm talking like just in general. Like everything just felt like it was closing up. Like, okay. But it wasn't closing up. I can't express to you the it was but it wasn't aspect of this. So, I don't know if it was in my head or whatever, but for some reason I couldn't take a deep breath. Now, I've had that with the panic attacks and shit. Or like when I went up down the stairs and I went out to the mailbox, which was just stupid of me to actually physically try to do, especially with my back the way it was, all fucked up. Because you gotta understand, when the back is fucked up, you gotta compensate the way you move and walk and shit, and by doing it, it like stresses like the rest of the muscles and shit in your legs, and by the time I got back to the house, I felt like I had been through a marathon, like I had been running and shit, and I wasn't, but I felt like that's what I felt like. And I could literally feel my heart pounding in my throat, like it was, like it was just like fuck you, you've gone too much, you've done too much, you've exerted yourself way too fucking much, fat guy. That's what it was basically. And then I couldn't take a deep breath, so every time I tried to get a deep breath, it was like, like these little shallow breaths, and I'm like, I can't take a deep breath, I can't take a deep breath, holy shit, breathe in, breathe out, can't take a deep breath, what the fuck? And every time I couldn't take a deep breath, I then started to have panic attacks that I can't breathe. Now I can't breathe, and I'm having a panic attack over the fact that I can't breathe. So it's like a double fuck you in the ass. Like even right now, I'm getting a little wiry. It wasn't like that, but it was like that. Again, I can't express the it was, but it wasn't. I was sitting there. I could breathe. I could breathe. I was breathing in, breathing out, breathing in. Could I take a deep breath? Because there's that moment when you take a deep breath and it's like your lungs are full and you're like, it's just like, and that's it. You ain't taking it anymore. When you can't get to that and it's like, and that's it. That's all you're gonna get. Man, I don't know. I started to panic. Not panic like when I can't breathe, when I'm having the panic attacks, that was like, I was starting getting lightheaded and shit, and it's like, I didn't know if I should sit, if I should stand, if I should go outside. If I go outside, is the weather too cold? Because the weather is too cold, and you're breathing in that cold air, it makes it even harder to breathe. Or if I'm inside, because honestly, God, it's like night and day the minute I go outside. Because when I stand outside, at the top of the stairs, because I'm up so high, the elevation and shit's all fucked up, so it's like super warm sometimes. And I can't breathe, so it's like, do I go outside and get fresh air, Or do I stay inside where it's warm and get, you know... So, like, all this shit races through my mind within, like, 3 seconds. It's like, and so anyways, I'm sitting there in the chair. And I'm having trouble breathing, but I'm breathing. And I can't, again, I cannot explain that. I simply couldn't take a deep breath, but I could breathe without a problem. It was just for some reason, like, because my nose is just that little, being a little dick, and it was just like, I can't take that deep breath. Even breathing in my mouth, I couldn't take the deep breath. Well, all of a sudden, because now, once you start thinking about breathing, it's all you're thinking about. And now I'm trying to take deep breath every time I breathe. Just because it's one of those things. Once I do, then I can relax. Until I do, I'm not going to be relaxed. So it's like your asshole's clenched. Like your whole cheeks and everything are just clustered right up. Well, the more I did that, I actually started to make my chest hurt because I was taking like deep fucking breath. And the more you do that, it hurts your shit. Like the whole area, then my chest started hurting, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck is this shit? Like, I've literally made this happen. I've made this happen for myself. You know, I didn't make myself $1 million today. I didn't make myself lay hot women. No, I made myself fucking have chest pain to the point I can't breathe and I want to die. Well, I want to die, but I was... These are the things that I create for myself. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm playing the game, and I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And of course, Destiny is such a dildo of a fucking game. You hit the pause button, and it's like a 45-minute pause wait while you fucking shit loads, and every time it was loading, I was like, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Like, even right now, I'm getting a little, fuck, I can't breathe. Oh yeah, that's right there. I took a deep breath. You know, it was a little trying, but you know, it is what it is. I don't know, man. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know what it is. Well, I know what the problem is. It's fucking out of shape and fat, you know. But it is what it is. I don't know. Anyway, so there was that. So I had that. So now I've got like ass. I got shit crusted on my ass because I can't wipe myself. I got a pain in my fucking shoulder blade. And now I can't fucking breathe. And I'm like, God damn, this is not the holiday. This is burglatory or some fucking shit. Anyway, that was this week. That was yesterday. That wasn't even the holiday. That was just yesterday. And today is what, the 30th? So that was the 29th of December? Oh God, fucking 2019. I'll be lucky if I make it to 2020. I swear to Christ. I will be lucky if I make it to next year. I'd say next year because it's technically... Well, we still got the 31st, so whatever. Next year in a day. I will be lucky if I'm here 2020. After 2020, I don't expect to be here. I just... oh my God. I don't know, man. It just... okay, let's talk about the holiday. Essentially, everything that could go wrong did go wrong. But not in a way that it was completely fucked everything up. But in a way that it was just that little, like, you know, it's like, let me stick a finger up your ass. It was just one of those, like, if you're going to do it, basically, if you're going to do that, the golden rule is 2 fingers for sodomy. Well, this was just like one little pinky finger. It's like, it's like, you're giving me just a little bit, but not enough, if you know what I'm saying. It's like, you're going to fuck me, you're going to do it right. Okay, it's just how it's going to be. If I'm going to get fucked by the universe, and just fucked in general, you're going to do it right. Okay, you 2 fingers fisted. I'm okay, not this little poking with the pinky finger bullshit. No. No, I say that, you know, but whatever. So, okay. It started with, actually, well, it started 42 years ago, but whatever. Ironically, it started with Cousin Cindy bringing over food. Because she brought over these two big bags, like Ziploc bags, like those big ones. One was filled with ham that had been cut in like little cubes. Wasn't necessarily the greatest ham in the sense that, let's put it this way, sometimes when you chew into ham and it's like, oh, what the fuck is that? And you throw it to the dog. But it was a good ham. It wasn't, I've had better, but this was really good, especially with the fact it was free and I wasn't expecting it, so it was awesome. So don't misunderstand me when I say that. But sometimes you bite into it and there's like this chunk of shit in the middle of the ham, and it's like, what the fuck is it? Ugh. You know, you spit it out, and it's chewy, and it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be ham, and he had a couple pieces like that, but the bulk of it was like really fucking good. And then the other bag was more of the cubes of ham, but with chunks of cheese, or like ham and cheese, like cheese, like you'd put like on a platter, like just cubes of cheese. I don't fuck shit. Ham and cheese, fuck me. I'll take that shit. That's good. Fuck me. That's not a bad fuck me. And it kind of started around there because it was like, shit, this is nice. This is starting the holiday off real right. This is like probably, I don't remember what it was, but a couple days before Christmas. It'd been like that Wednesday before, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that. And I'm like, shit, this is starting off the holiday really, really, really nice. Can't complain. So anyways, a few nights after that, I think the night before, like Christmas, day before Christmas Eve, whatever the fuck that was. What was it, Sunday? Yeah, it had to be Sunday. Saturday, probably. Whatever, I don't know. Cousin Cindy then comes over again and brings me food. Like shopping. She went shopping and got me food. Like I didn't have to pay for it kind of food. Like Christmas gift food. And well, I wasn't expecting any of that. And she brought over this pizza. It was not a frozen pizza. One you get, those kind you get in the deli at your local supermarket, where they make it there and they put it in like a takeout box. It's not like an actual takeout, but it's got like the plastic around it. It's basically a frozen pizza that's not frozen, and it's one of those bigger ones. Well, this was a Philly cheesesteak pizza. Now, I had really mixed feelings about it because it was really good. I don't want to say I didn't like it, but I was expecting more of a pizza. I didn't realize what it was, first off. Well, let me rephrase that. I knew it was Philly cheesesteak pizza, and I was like, okay, cool. Well, instead of having spaghetti sauce, or like a saucy, normal pizza sauce, this had a really wet cheese sauce. Like, you seen the Velveeta cheese when you squirt it out of the pack? It was kind of like that, because that's actually more thick. This was like really wet, like you could, I don't know. It was a really weird consistency, and I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. It was really good, but it's just one of those things that I had in my head pizza, and I was like, okay, I want pizza. In other words, I want it like a certain way. This was different. Different good, but different bad in the sense that it wasn't what I was expecting. I don't mean that in a bad way, because it was very good, and I don't want to like trash it, because she paid like $8 for it. A huge pizza. And now I will be honest with you, I thought this pizza would be really fucking good with like egg on it. Just egg, because you can understand it's not your traditional pizza. There's the crust, and then there's this cheese, and it actually had like regular cheese on top. I don't think it was mozzarella, maybe like a blend of something. And you had like these pieces of little meat, these little flappers of meat. And it was cheesesteak, basically. It was good, but I'm thinking, man, because if it had the egg, it would be like a really nice breakfast pizza. Like really good. Especially with that cheese sauce. Oh, dude, that would have been cheese and egg and the little thing. Oh, dude, that would have been really good. Whatever. So again, I'm not trashing it. I really liked it. It's just it wasn't what I was expecting when I was thinking, oh, a pizza. You know what I mean? It was more like it was a breakfast pizza. If you ever had breakfast pizza, you're like, okay, that's different than regular pizza. Not necessarily bad, not necessarily good. It's different. That's basically what I mean. Because sometimes I say that stuff and like people hear it and they're like, oh, you know, he didn't like it. No, it's not that I didn't. No, I didn't. No, I did like it. It's just like I said, I had in my head, a pizza, which is sauce and cheese and blah blah blah. Well, this had cheese and meat and cheese and meat. The old Burger King commercial, I don't even remember that. Fucking announcer's like, it's meat and cheese and meat, and that was, I don't know, whatever. But it had that shit, and I was like, oh, cool, because again, I wanted more of a traditional pizza, and then I realized it wasn't a traditional pizza. I'm like, oh. Again, it wasn't a bad O. Like, sometimes Graham would do that shit. Oh? Oh? She'd do that O where it's like, you're a fucking idiot. Because when she would say oh, it wasn't a question, it wasn't an answer, but it was a question, and it was an answer. So it's like, you say something like, oh, Graham, I got new shoes today. She'd be like, oh? And you don't know if she's saying, oh, you're a fucking idiot, or oh, that's really good, or oh, how much money did you spend? There was always something with her. So that oh, when I said oh, was more like, okay, this is different. I get whatever. So because she bought that, and I was thinking about it, and I'm like, fuck, because I had this game plan. I had this huge dinner game plan. Saturday, the day before Christmas, I was going to make my lasagna. And I was going to have it Saturday, Sunday. So basically, you'd have lunch, dinner. Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday. And then Monday, I was going to do my ham. I was going to do my coleslaw, my fruit salad, and then I was going to have leftover lasagna, like a little bit on the side. That was my game plan. Well, she brought this pizza over the night before Thanksgiving Eve, which was when I was going to do my ham. And I'm sitting there thinking, goddamn, I want this pizza. I want an actual I love pizza. Fuck me. I could literally take an entire frozen pizza and just shove it up my fucking ass. That's how much I love it. So I'm literally thinking about this pizza for like 24 hours. I'm like, fuck it. I will, instead of having my traditional Christmas Eve meal, I'll do it for Christmas Day. I'll have the pizza today, on Christmas Eve, and then I'll have my meal next day. Well, as I said, then I got the pizza, and I'm like, oh, this isn't an actual pizza. So it's like, I wanted an actual pizza. Instead, I've got this weird, different, not exactly what I was expecting, but still very good pizza. And I was like, it kind of threw me off, is what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to get here. Again, I'm not trashing. Dude, I really liked it. It was good. It was just, actually, I don't know if it was my favorite kind of pizza, though. The cheese sauce was weird to me. That cheese sauce was really, really weird to me. Like, I wanted to scrape it off and put it on some noodles or something. I mean, that's how good that was. Like, if it had an actual cheese sauce, but then that wouldn't be Philly cheesesteak, though. That's the problem. So it would just be just a regular, whatever. I don't know. Again, it just kind of off-put my sensibilities. Because not only did I take my Christmas dinner and move it a day over, no big deal, but then I had a pizza that was like, okay, this isn't exactly what I thought it was. So now, again, it was a speed bump in the road to my holiday, is what I was saying. Nothing major, but it's like, okay. So anyways, let me go back to the lasagna. So, I make the fucking lasagna, which I'm really pissed off that it got like one fucking view, and I think that was me. I don't even think you watched it yet, you fucker. I took it and put it on YouTube, and it pisses me off, but whatever. Well, I'm blacklisted anyway. They will not promote my stuff in any way, shape, manner, or form. The only way you're gonna promote my shit is word of mouth, and ain't nobody wording my mouth at all. So fuck you. But whatever. So I basically recorded myself putting it together, putting the lasagna together. Well, the bottom, I don't want to use the word burned because it's not the right word. Overly cooked is a better word. The bottom, the first layer, overly cooked. It didn't burn, but it was overly cooked. It dried out real quick. Let's put it that way. It was still good though. That was weird. The weird part about it, it's just I don't know. The rest of it was really good too. Now, what happened with my food preparation is apparently I had left the little pepper box. What are those little boxes of pepper that you get and you know clunk clunk clunk, you clink 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 when you squeeze it. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. The little pepper, like some people got the little pepper mills and crank 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 that bullshit. I did find one of those. I had one of those. They have those McCormick ones, I think, and it's just a little cranker. But this is just a regular, click, 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 click. You click the box. You get the little box. You flap the top on the side, and it's just flip, flip, flip. Well, apparently I left it on the counter, and the countertop got wet because when I did my distilled water, somehow, unbeknownst to fuck me, the container that it's supposed to drip into got pushed to the side, and the water just a lot of the water, most of the water, half a gallon of water basically, dripped the fuck out onto the countertop. And it seeped up inside the little metal box of pepper, which means it then became a big clump of pepper. And it was like, fuck that. So I just threw the whole thing out. So I started the holiday with no pepper in my cooking utensils. So because everything got to have salt and pepper on that motherfucker. So the idea I'm making stuff and it ain't got no pepper on it. Okay, it was still good, but it was not as good. But luckily I did find that little cranker, and I did get a little bit of pepper in there, so it was okay, but it could have been more, and it could have been better. And then I ran out of parsley, and I didn't have any fucking parsley to put in there. Whatever. So yeah, that was part of that. The bottom, again, I don't want to say burnt, but it's didn't turn out the way it should have on that end. But the lasagna itself, very good. Really proud of myself. Now I'll never do lasagna again day of my life because it's just too much fucking work. I'll do ziti. Yeah, ziti's easy. You just throw all that shit right into the roaster and be fuck it. Fuck it. But it is what it is. So it started with that technically. With the pepper and the overly dry bottom. I don't know why it got so fucking dry. I don't... whatever. So that was Saturday and Sunday. Then comes Monday with the pizza, which is like, what the fuck is this? This is not what I was expecting, but it's still good. Again, I don't want to... Not that anybody, cousins are going to listen to this, but, I didn't want it to sound like, oh, there's a fucking awful pizza. What the hell? Yeah, it was nothing like that. It was just one of those, because again, I didn't really read it like, oh, this is a, whatever, Philly cheesesteak with a cheese sauce. I didn't realize that. I thought it was just kind of a Philly cheesesteak, because sometimes they have those weird, it's just regular pizza with like this little flat meat on the top and some, like they do the taco pizza, and it's basically just a taco. It's just regular pizza with like taco cheese on top, and it's like, big deal, But it's made the same way, you know what I mean? It's kind of got that blended cheese on top. That's kind of what I was expecting. Something similar like that. Not a completely non-saucy, pizza saucy. It was just weird. Again, I say weird, and it was good. It was welcome, and I definitely would take in more. And again, I don't want to sound like... I don't want it to come across as like it sucked, because it didn't. It's just... I don't know, it was just weird. It's just a really weird situation. Because again, I was expecting one thing and got another, and it was like, okay, this isn't what I wanted. But it was so good. So, weird. I don't know. So anyway, that was Saturday, Sunday. Then Monday. So basically everything's kind of got fucked up, but kind of not. I don't know, it's really weird. Then, the 25th, I did my ham. My ham... started out really good. Like, the ham, because what I did is I boiled it. And two of the things that I came away from this fucking holiday is, one, I need some goddamn pot holders, and two, I need a goddamn pot that I can put a goddamn ham in, and I can cover the goddamn thing. Okay, I need a big ass fucking pot is what I need. I've been wanting to get one of those for about 10 years now. And it pisses me off that I haven't yet. Well, they're $80, $90, $100, whatever the fuck it is. I can get that kind of fucking money for a fucking pot. Fuck that shit. It's a ham. I'll bake the thing for 20 minutes or half an hour, whatever the fuck it is. Get it crispy on top and then shove the thing up my ass and eat it that way. Eat it through osmosis. I don't give a fuck. It's a ham, you know, whatever. Pisses me off. So I put it in the biggest pan that I had, the biggest pot that I had. And the whole ass end was sticking out. Which is just as well, because I come to find out the fucking ass end of the damn thing was nothing but fat and filth anyway. Oh my god, the whole front end was really good. But I paid $20 for this goddamn ham, and 90% of it was fucking fat. Pisses me off. Really, it absolutely throws me down a fucking flight of stairs. Whatever. So as I cooked the ham, I boiled it. I boiled that motherfucker, and then I cooked it. Now I was gonna go into the whole basting thing, and I'm like, you know what, my shoulder blade, my back, I ain't basting shit. And let it cook. Fuck it. That's what I said. So that's what I did. I boiled it, and what I did is I basically boiled it for about, I don't remember, at least 45 minutes to an hour. Whatever. So I took what was left of the water, I put it into a bowl, and then I took the ham out, put it into the roaster, added some new water, baked that for at least an hour. 45 minutes to an hour, whatever it was. And then when I came back, I grabbed the ham, and of course I have nothing to like hoist this thing up with. I don't even have dude, I ran out of forks. I don't know where I think I got like 2 forks, and I think one of them was dirty. I didn't know where any of that stuff was, and I was like, how am I going to get this fucking thing out? So what I did, I took the top of the roaster and set it on the side of the stove. And I had this big knife, like the kind you see like in a Jason movie, like that kind of a knife from the little knife, whatever that thing is, that little piece of wood that it sticks out of, whatever those fucking things are. Wood holder, knife holder, whatever the fuck it is. So I grabbed that out, and I was like, fucking, I jammed the knife in, and then with my left hand, I kind of lift the fucking thing out, and it worked. Don't ask me how. And I put it into the upside down part of the roaster. Now, if you know anything about a roaster, it's got that weird handle, so it was kind of lopsided, but who cares? It was just going to sit in there. And then I took the bowl of liquid from when I boiled it. I dumped it back into the what do you call that? The roaster, and I proceeded to put the fucking roaster on the burner. Turned the burner on high. Got my whisk. Got some flour and made fucking gravy. Now I did make it a little too thick. Although I wanted thick. I wanted very thick. I don't know what it is about ham gravy. I like thick ham gravy. When I say thick, I'm talking like you could rub this on your face. It's thick. I mean, we're not talking just liquid. Like oh, it's soupy. You know, coats a spoon. No, I ain't coating no spoon. Okay, you can coat the side of the house with this shit. Okay. I wanted it thick. I don't know why. I didn't want it that thick. I admit I put a little too much flour in that fucker. Because, again, what happens is you put too much flour in, then you gotta add a little bit of water, which I did have to add a little bit of water to, which I probably should have added even more water to, which, whatever. And then ham gravy is very hard to adjust because the shit's already salty as fuck. So then you put the flour in there, which has no flavor, and then it's like, well, it's kind of doesn't have the flavor because then I didn't have a lot of pepper left either by that point. And I didn't want to add salt, and I was like, do you really want to add salt? Because what I did is usually I don't add salt to my potatoes, especially when I'm doing ham, because I know this isn't how you're supposed to do it. I know there's ways to cook, and this is not how you're supposed to do it. But I like to do my potatoes with no salt, which means they don't have a lot of flavor, but they're good. You know, they're good for what they are. You can put butter on there, whatever, and then you take the salty ham gravy and put that on there. So when you take a spoonful or a forkful of the potatoes with the gravy, it works together. Okay, so if you not over salt, but if you salt the potatoes and you have the salty ham gravy, now everything's all salty and your fucking tongue shrivels the fuck up. That was my thinking. It's like when I do ziti or lasagna, I like to oversalt my meat. The reason being is when you add it in with the cheese and the sauce, you're gonna taste the meat, and it works together. All the flavors together work together. Now most people are like, oh well, salt the cheese and salt the beef and salt the this and salt the that, salt the noodles. Like everything is supposed to taste good individually. But you don't eat shit individually. That's the problem. And again, this doesn't go with the actual cooking. Like Emerald would probably weep at what I just said. But you don't eat just one. Like how many? Seriously, do you eat just the noodles? No, you're eating the whole thing. So if the meat's got a little extra sauce or a little more salt to it, and you mix that with the noodle that has no salt, with the sauce and the cheese. You put that in your mouth and you swish it around and you chewing. It works. It's very good. Okay. So I didn't want to oversalt, but for some reason I don't know what possessed me. The salt thing was right there, and I was like, "Fuck it." So I added some salt into the potatoes. Now the potatoes turned out really, really, really good. Then I got this really, really, really salty gravy because it's a ham, and it's like, what the fuck, you know? So the mashed potatoes are actually very good. The mashed potatoes are very good, actually. Could have used a little more pepper, like I said, whatever. Coleslaw. The problem with the coleslaw, I got tired because I got the grater. I got that little mandolin or whatever the fuck that thing is called. And you gotta sit there with the box thing, and I got this big cabbage in my hand. Now I could have cut the cabbage, but fuck that. I just took the whole cabbage and I peeled off the first couple leaves. You know who's jerking off on it in the store, and I'm like, and it was like 4 seconds in, I'm like, holy Christ, is it over? Am I done? And I looked in the bottom, and there's like a couple tablespoons of fucking shredded cabbage. I'm like, God damn. God damn. So I did about half of the thing. And that actually turned out very good. Now, I'm supposed to put the garlic salt in there. I didn't have any garlic salt. I completely have no spices for some reason. So I put a dash of regular salt, some sugar, some mayonnaise, and actually, no, I did have some garlic. I had, it was that cheap shit that you buy. Actually, it's not cheap. It's like $5. That stuff you got in the fridge, and you kind of spoon out the little garlic. Not the best garlic, but it works for what it is. So I spooned in a tablespoon of that, whatever the fuck it was, teaspoon, table, whatever the fuck it is. And that turned out really, really good. I did maybe add a little too much mayonnaise, but it wasn't that big of a deal because that shit makes its own juices real quick. But that turned out really good. And then I did the freaking fruit salad. Now I gotta ask myself a question: why haven't I been doing fruit salad for the past 10, 15 years? I mean, my God, I've been here since what, 2007 holiday. Okay, that was 11 years ago. Why the fuck haven't... Now, I usually like to do the heavy cream. I don't know if it's just that I'm old now. Fuck the heavy cream. Fuck that shit. I just get some regular Cool Whip. Get one of those big tubs of Cool Whip. And I will say, one can of mixed fruit was not enough. In fact, when I do it next time, I'm going to buy some grapes, like actual grapes. I'm going to get those little oranges. I'm going to get some walnuts. You got to have bananas. Banana really fucking fixes that shit right up the side. But yeah, I took my can of fruit. Basically, I had this tub of Cool Whip, and it was left over from Thanksgiving. And of course, I have no bowls now. I don't know what it is. I was like, I lose stuff. I don't know where to. It's like people lose their socks. Like, oh, I got my right sock, but my left one, I don't know where the fuck it went. Like, you put it in a dryer and it just disappears. Same thing with my utensils and my. I don't know where any of this stuff goes. I really have no fucking clue. I have no bowls. I have no pots, no pans, no nothing. So I had nothing to put it in. I was like, well, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just put it in a fucking Cool Whip container. And of course, I realized quickly that the Cool Whip container is full, duh, and there's not a lot of room in there, especially if you're trying to stir it. So, anyways, I did end up finding a big bowl that I could put it all in. So I cut up 2 bananas. I then took my fruit, drained it. I just kind of drank it. I drank from the can. I don't care. And then drained whatever was left. Well, I probably could put that little bit of juice in there. Not all of it, but a little bit. Actually, half a decent. Whatever. And then I put the Cool Whip in there and mixed it up. And it was actually very, very fucking good. Especially the next day when the bananas kind of melded with the whipped cream. Ooh, that shit was good. That shit was good. I'm gonna make some more. I think I'm gonna make that on a regular fucking basis, like maybe once a month. That shit was really good. And it was nice because I could just go in, get a little bit, put a little bit on my side, whatever I was eating that day. You know, whatever leftovers I was eating. Really good shit. The only downside was I didn't have enough fruit. And then when I was done, I took everything from the bowl and put it right back into the container that the Cool Whip came in, and plus it had a top, so it was like, fucking hey, that was perfect. That was perfect. Because by the time I had enough for dinner, there was room left over, and I could just stick it right back in there. My problem is I had to dirty a fucking dish, but whatever. So yeah, that actually turned out very good. Now, I didn't have walnuts. I bought this thing of peanuts, these Planters peanuts. Just regular peanuts, just big fucking thing of it. That I was going to use when I did my fudge. Oh, I did my fudge too, that's another thing. That actually turned out very good too. Wasn't as sweet as I like it, and it was softer than I normally make it, but I don't know, I really liked it. It was really good. I may make some of that again too, well, I got another thing of peanut butter, because I bought 2 jars of peanut butter, because I didn't know how big they were. My problem is I don't have the fucking confectionery sugar. I don't have enough confectionery sugar. But what's nice is when I cut it up into little chunks, I put it into a Ziploc bag and stuck it in the freezer. And it was still, like, sometimes you put shit in the freezer and it's just hard as a dick. Like, it just snaps. Well, this shit was still chewy in a way. It was so weird. Weird consistency. But it turned out really good. And I like the consistency. I want to try to mimic that again. Because you take some fudge from the freezer and it's still edible. It's actually very good. I mean, fuck you. Anyways, what was I talking? Oh, my Christmas dinner. So yeah, my Christmas dinner turned out very good, surprisingly. But what happened was I didn't have any goddamn room for the ham, so I left the ham on the fucking stove in the roaster. Because then when I was done with the gravy, I was like, fuck it. I took the ham from the top and put it back into the gravy and put the top on. I left it there for a whole day. I left it there 24 hours. Probably longer than that, actually. I was like, fuck, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. It's cool out there. It's not like it's 100 degrees out there. You know, now obviously it's not ideal, but I had nowhere to put the fucker. Because my refrigerator was full from all the other stuff. I had the roaster with the lasagna. I had the tray of fudge, and I had all the leftover shit. I had the potatoes. The whole thing was full. So I was like, yeah, fuck it, let's leave it out there. And every couple hours, I go out there and chunk off a piece of ham. And anyways, the next day, I went out and I decided to kind of debone it. Because when I was at the store, I bought 2 things of potatoes and a thing of milk. Because my goal, after the fucking holiday, I was going to take leftover ham and make scalloped potatoes and ham. Great idea. Real great idea I had there. Ooh, boy, real fucking great. But whatever, we'll get into that in a minute. Because you understand, I had this all planned out. When you're throwing a bunch, you got to plan out your food. You just do, especially when you're in a fixed income. You gotta plan this shit out proper. Again, let's go through this. Saturday, 22nd. I have to go. It's like the fourth before about the second or third of December. Then I'm going to the store for the first time, and I have to get through the second to around the 17th ish. And then I have to go from the 17th, once I get there, to the 22nd. Once I get to the 22nd, everything is good. So I have to buy enough groceries to do all that. I have to get to the 17th, and then 17th I'll go to Burger King, because I go shopping and I go to Burger King. Then I have to go 18, 19, 20, 21. If I can get through those days, we get to 22nd, then it's all downhill from there. 22nd was lasagna, which was 22nd, 23rd, 24th. Turned out to be the pizza, which is actually great because I got an extra day out of that shit. And then the 25th was ham dinner. And 26th, 27th, so on and so forth. Well, that was the plan. And then after that, I figured probably 4 days, so I figured 29-ish, I would do the scalloped potatoes. Well, actually, because I had the pizza, it actually became, around the 29th, 29th-ish, it was yesterday. Yeah. No, actually, it was supposed to be the 28th. So now what I did between the 28th and the probably 3rd, I wasn't sure. So I was like, you know what, I'll have that extra ham, let's make scalloped potatoes. Okay, that sounds like a good idea. So anyways, like I said, I bought this extra thing of potatoes. I did the mashed potatoes a week before, and I'm doing just regular potatoes. So I had these nice white potatoes. I cut them up, got the little paring knife, and I'm just making little slices, like, chunks, if you will. Sliced chunks. Some of it was thin, some of it, I didn't really care. Especially toward the end, I was like, fuck it, just cut. And you try to do it as quick as you can. Now, I wish I had some extra, like, corn or peas or something. That would have been pretty good in there. But what happened was when I went to debone the ham, I realized that whole back end was nothing but fat and ass. It was nothing there. There was no meat there. Now I had a little bowl of meat, and it was kind of like the grody part of it, the really nasty part, because I had been eating it for like a day and a half. And if you know me and ham, let's just put it this way. Thank Christ that Jesus was a Jew so I don't have to be, okay? God bless that holiday ham. Fuck you. That's all I'm going to say on that. Okay. Well, because there's a stupid story that family used to tell and used to make fun of me. Because when we go to Graham's, she'd hoist us up with ham. When we could, she'd make the holiday ham, and then when we'd leave, she'd give us leftovers. She'd hoist us with a thing of ham. Well, one day we were driving home, and all the stuff was sitting there. I kind of reached in and grabbed a little bit of the ham, and Dale T and the old woman smelt it, and they go, "Oh, you're breaking in the ham!" Oh, and it was a big fucking joke about me eating the ham and all that shit. That's the whole thing with the ham and the feet and things and whatever. Whatever. So, like I said, I've been hauling the ham for a day and a half. So when I get to making the scalloped potatoes and ham, there wasn't a whole lot of decent ham left. But I didn't really care. It was there for, because some of that stuff, it actually was better after you cook it again. Because some of that stuff was like deep deep inside on the bone. That stuff that's really close to the bone, and sometimes it's like it doesn't cook as good as it should have. But then you put it into the scalloped potatoes and it cooks again better. So some of it was better, some of it was not as, I don't know, whatever. And sometimes you get that chunky shit and it's like, ooh, whatever. I wish I had some of that chunk ham that Cousin Cindy had brought me. That would have been perfect, but that shit wasn't going to last. That shit wasn't going to last a week and a half, a week, or whatever the fuck it was. That shit was not going to last. Well, first off, I'm not going to leave well, actually, it wouldn't have lasted in general, just because it was a week old. It just wasn't going to last. But whatever. Plus, with me, it wasn't going to last. Whatever. Well, you get my point. As long as I make the shit, keep in mind, I don't have any fucking pepper, And scalloped potatoes, you need pepper. Oh my god. So anyways, I cut up the fucking potatoes. I take the bowl full of meat, and I almost dropped the bowl full of meat. Oh. Dog loves ham too, by the way. Holy crap. Um, Whatever. So I put the meat in. I take an entire stick of butter. Because I had no parsley. I throw all that in. I take the milk, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna fill it up like I did last time, because last time it overflowed. It boiled over. Not gonna do that. Not gonna do it. Like George Bush, I'm not gonna do it. And you're not gonna do it. You know, he ain't gonna do it. He ain't gonna eat the broccoli. Fuck him. Well, I did it about halfway of the roaster. And I thought, okay, this will be fine. Then what I did is when I took the roaster to the stove, which you gotta be very careful, especially when you got a bad fucking arm, for whatever reason, for the holiday. I then took some flour, which is ironically still out. I don't know why the flour is still out. It was out from when I made the gravy. So a week later, the flour's still sitting on the stove. The bag, whatever. It's still sitting there today, right now, today, whatever. So, usually I do that after. Like, after it's already cooked, I put the flour in and kind of whisk a little bit inside. But I was like, you know, fuck it. Let's sprinkle this shit on top and see what happens. Because I don't usually do it that way. It actually turned out pretty good. It thickened up pretty good. Tasted good. Well, all of a sudden, I put it in, and I kind of go and watch TV. All of a sudden, I start smelling something. I'm like, oh god damn! Because once it overflows, you might as well just let it go. Because you ain't gonna fix it. Okay, it's not like, oh, you know, we should have stopped it earlier. No, once it's done, it's done. Once that milk overflows into your oven, you are fucked. So I let it cook. It's smoking like a bitch out there. Smoking like an old broad. It was smoking worse than Graham. I go out there, I can't even see. I got my hand up over my brow, and I'm looking. Dog has to go out, so I open up the back door. I leave the fucking door wide open because trying to get that shit out. I turned the stove off, by the way, when I went out there. I reach in, I grab the thing. I keep in mind, I only got one pot holder. So I had to use a t-shirt, by the way, which is in your other box that I'm going to send you someday. I don't know when. So I use one of the damn shirts that are in there as a fucking pod holder, so you should be thankful. Lucky. Proud. Whatever. I got that shit out, put it up on the fucking stove, and I proceeded to open the door to let that air out. Luckily, one of the cousins, I don't know, maybe it came that way, I don't know, it had this mat underneath. It was like some sort of oven mat. And I was able to pull it out. So a lot of it came out with the mat. All that milky shit. There's still some in there, so next time I go to do my other pizzas and shit, and you go to actually use my oven, it's going to smoke like an old broad. Because after a while, now I can't get in there and physically clean it. I can't even. I did try to take a washcloth, and of course, it's still hot from when I was using it because I literally just came out there and just turned it off. So I took one of my downstairs grill, one of the flipper, the spatula, the long handle. So I took that with a washcloth and I kind of wiggled it in there, tried to get as much as you could, and getting it all. You ain't barely doing anything. So anyways, I take that mat out and there's still shit down in there, and it's like, oh fuck, and some of it's burnt. And just as a heads up, I know this is single guy versus regular normal people. You use your oven enough, it will eventually stop smoking. You use it enough, long enough, it will eventually stop. It may take 7-8 times of do pizza and it's going to smoke a little bit. It will eventually go away. It's not ideal, but it will go away. Just in case you did not know that, it will go away. Fucking bullshit. So now I either have to, not either, I have to hire one of the cousins to come in and fucking clean the damn thing. Which I'm not looking forward to. And I don't want to have to. See, I don't want to have to ask him stupid shit like that, you know? And then for some reason, it, it, I don't want to say, I, I don't know what happened. I think I may have overeaten the scalloped potatoes because it was like, it was so good. It was very good, but it wasn't. The taste was weird. It almost tastes like a Cheeto in the sense that if you ever had one of those cheese puffs, and you eat one, and you're like, this is good, but it could be better. So you eat another one, you're like, no, it's still the same thing. It's good, but that cheese flavor could be a little deeper, a little better. Kind of like when you lick your fingers off after, 'cause you know that powder on your fingers. You're like, oh, that's really good. You expect the Cheetos to taste like that, but it's not concentrated enough, so you keep eating another one and another one. It was kind of like that, where I just kept putting spoon in my mouth, spoon in my mouth, spoon in my mouth. I'm waiting for it to get better, and it's like, this is really good, but it could be better. Where's the flavor? The flavoring was so weird that I think I ate too much. It made me, I don't want to say it made me sick, because it didn't make me sick, but it made me, like, I looked at it and was like, I can't eat any more of this ever again. Like, never, ever. So I have no clue. I don't know. I still got like half a roaster. In fact, I might even have some more now. I may get up and actually have some more because I don't want to waste it. But I don't know, man. But I'm definitely gonna do a smaller bowl. Actually, I don't know. I think all my bowls are dirty. I think I got to do dishes. I don't even know what's out there. Because I've been kind of doing dishes and the roasters have been kind of fucked up because the ham roaster was easier to clean than the lasagna roaster. The lasagna roaster is still sitting there. Now the whole outer part of the rim, the inner rim of the lasagna one is clean, but the inner part, the bottom part, is got shit on there, and I gotta like scrub it off. And I have nothing to scrub with other than my fucking fingernail and a stupid washcloth. So I'm like, scrub a little bit each fucking day. I might actually try some toilet cleaner on that shit. See if that just pulls it up. I don't know. And then the other one, like I said, had the ham gravy, and that was very easy to clean. That's when I did the scalloped potatoes in. Of course, now that shit's kind of crusted on there, so that's going to be a couple days just soaking it. Oh, God. Always something. Because I have two roasters. Because when I first got here, I bought this roaster. It was like $13 at Great American. I was like, well, fuck it, I'll buy a roaster. I need a roaster. Fuck it, I'll get a roaster. The only problem is the bottom of it rusted. Bullshit. And then when Graham died, I went downstairs. She had two roasters, and I confiscated one of them. So I have one of Graham's old roasters plus the one that I bought. So I have two roasters. That's why I was able to do lasagna and ham, and then I had to wash one, and then do the scalloped potatoes. So I've done like 3 roaster meals in like a week and a half. It's crazy. Anyways. So yeah, that's my fucking holiday. It's like all the food was really good, but it's something something didn't go right. Something was off, and it was just like fuck you. And it's like I can't win, you know. Now I will be honest. My Thanksgiving dinner was not very good. Just it didn't turn out good. Well, I shouldn't say that. No, I shouldn't say that. It was good. Actually, what happened with that shit is timing got really fucked up. Like one thing finished, and then another thing finished, and for some reason, my my squash did not want to cook. I put it in for 3 minutes. I come out, it's still cold. I put it in for another 3 minutes. It comes out still cold. Now, granted, it was like a 15-minute wait in between each time. And I'm like, fuck, you know what, fuck it, I'm not gonna eat this shit cold. There's still a big chunk of butter. It hasn't even melted. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? Actually, it may not have been 3 minutes. I don't remember what it was. And then I didn't put any salt in the potatoes that time for Thanksgiving. So the potatoes were kind of but you put it with the gravy. It was actually very good. 'Cause, again, I don't need salt, and I don't want salt. So if the gravy is salty, I don't want the potatoes to be salty. Now, granted, if I was cooking for other people, I would make sure everything tastes right. But for me, I didn't. Like I said, I was trying to do away with the salt, so I purposely made the mashed potatoes. I don't want to say bland because they weren't bland. Bland is not the right word. They weren't as flavorful as they could be. I actually like them without a lot of salt. I like them just as is. I've kind of grown accustomed to that taste. I don't know. But again, like if I was cooking for like the family or something, I'd add a little bit of salt in it just to get the, you know, just to get it going. But for me, I kind of liked it, but it was kind of like the potatoes were kind of like and then you got the cold squash. It was kind of I don't know. The whole thing just kind of went. The turkey was very good though. Holy shit, the turkey turned out really fucking nice. I didn't find the wishbone. I don't even know. I deboned that motherfucker. I didn't know where the wishbone went. I have no idea. No clue. I think it may have broke. I think that's what happened. It broke. So I didn't notice it. So it was like you had the two pieces of bone, and it's like, what the fuck is this shit? Because you know the wishbone when you see it, but once it's broke, it's like what the fuck. So apparently somebody made a wish, and it wasn't me. So whatever. But yeah. Anyway, the holiday, thank Christ, is over. And it's weird. I didn't get depressed at all until like Christmas night when it started to get dark. I don't know why. Nighttime I get depressed. I don't know. Something is weird. Like I said, I didn't get depressed at all. I even had a couple dollars left over in my account. I bought a couple games. One of which I haven't even played yet. I got so many fucking games to play, dude. Holy shit. I'm in the middle of playing fucking Destiny 2, which is... Don't even get me started. Then I got... let's see, what did I get? Tomb Raider. I got the newest Tomb Raider game. It's actually pretty good. I don't like as much... I like the first one better. I liked the second one, but didn't love the second one. Third one is... I think better than the second one, but not as good as the... Well, I like the combat. I like the whole sneaking around stuff. And this one, there's not a lot of that I've noticed so far. Probably about halfway through it, and it's not a lot. Whatever. And then I'm still in the middle of Smash Brothers. For Christmas, I bought these two games. One of which is Okami, which is this Japanese little game where you're riding around on a little fucking wolf. Now, I played it before. I played it back on, I think, the Wii? Yeah, it was either Wii or Wii U, one of them. I think it's a Wii. Really cool game. Like it. It's kind of Zelda-esque. And I was like, well, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to get this again. Because I was originally going to get Mega Man. Mega Man X collection. The first part of it. The first, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, I think. And I was like, you know what? Do I really want to spend money on something that I've gotten numerous times already and barely play? And I'm like, I want it, but no. And then I realized, you know what? I actually have that fucking thing on the Wii U. So what I might do is I might hook the Wii U back up. Because that's my go-to console as far as, like, old school games. Virtual console. It's just, I don't have it set up anymore. And I was like, do I really want to buy this fucking game again? There's nothing new added to it. There's nothing... I was like, no, fuck it. I'm just going to... Screw it. So I didn't buy it. Now, Okami, I do have that, but... Like I said, that was on the Wii, and this is now on the Switch, so I was like, fuck it, I'll get it on the Switch. And I liked the game, too, so... Because that would have been a really nice game to play Christmas Eve. But I was busy doing Tomb Raider and then everything else, and it might actually break down this month. Or, not this month, but, shit, I actually might do it tonight. And get that Star Fox game. Now, I love Star Fox, but I don't know about this game. This is Starlink. Because what they did is they took this random fucking game that's actually on multiple systems. And Nintendo's like, oh yeah, why don't you throw Star Fox in there and make it a semi-exclusive content for the Switch, and they did. Now, if you don't get to play Fox on the Xbox or the PS4, only on the Switch. So I really want a Star Fox game, dude. And after the last Star Fox game, I'm really pissed off about Star Fox Zero. Don't even get me started. I didn't care that the game was basically Star Fox 64 redone, not even really remastered, more just regurgitated. I didn't even care about that. I didn't care about that. I was like, okay, I know that going in. I love that game. I want to play more. Give me more. I will play this. I will buy this. In fact, I did buy this. And I'm very happy about the fact I bought it. And then all of a sudden I went to play it, and they had to use that goddamn touchscreen bullshit. The way they did it is you have to use the pad, the gamepad, and you have to wiggle it around. And instead of looking at the big screen TV, you have to look at this little fucking screen, and like, oh, and like you're looking through a cockpit window or some shit, and you're trying to get cute with all that fucking shit. So instead of shooting stuff at, because if I'm watching the TV, then I'm banging in the stuff because it's a completely different view, and you're not moving it the way you're supposed to, because you're supposed to be like literally aiming with the fucking tablet, and it's like, oh my god, it was a cool idea that just didn't work, and everybody hated it. I don't think any. Now you got some apologists who are like, "Oh, it's great," those fucking idiots. But nobody liked it. Nobody with active brain cells liked that game. So my history of Star Fox is just like. So I think I'm gonna buy that fucking game. I really do. I think I'm gonna get it. It's not even a Star Fox game, but it's more of a game with Star Fox in it. Anyways, yeah, that was the holiday. That was my fucking holiday. I'm done. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Fuck you. I'm done. You got a clip. You hadn't had a clip in a while, so fuck you. Enjoy it.